Currency Wars is Honkai Star Rail's newest game mode, which was met with great fanfare during the 3.7 update. It was teased since the 3.6 livestream, so it was clear it was going to be a big one. But how fun is this mode? Is it actually as good as people say it is, or is it just an overhyped mess? Before we can answer that, a quick word from Loot Bar. Do you like gacha games? I'm sure you do. And if you're like me, you probably want to save some cash. So that's why I recommend checking out lootbar.gg. Loot Bar is a trusted top-up site for all your favorite games like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, and many other games. Loot Bar offers prices that are up to 30% cheaper compared to the in-game store. From right now until December 2nd, they're running a Black Friday sale. On top of the coupons you already get, you can get a 10% discount coupon as well as double reward points. Loot Bar offers different packages to buy, including an all-in-one bundle, a limited 6480 bundle, and guaranteed packages for characters. To purchase, all you need to do is simply enter your UID. No login info is needed. After you complete your order, simply wait a few minutes and your shards will be in your account. Loot Bar is a very trusted site with millions of customers, thousands of 5-star reviews, and backing by many famous creators. I've used it myself plenty of times and saved tons of money with them. So if you're interested, click the link down below, grab your discount coupon, and start saving on your pulse today. Now back to the video. Going into this mode, I didn't really have any high hopes. I've never really been a fan of a lot of the damage slot modes where you just fight a punching bag with a million HP or whatever. I was really getting sick of the usual pattern, so my expectation could not be lower by default. When this mode dropped, I spent a good amount of time playing it, and I have to ask, why is this mode so fucking fun? This is genuinely some of the most enjoyment I've had playing Star Rail in a long ass time. Now first, I need to explain how this mode actually works. So before you can even play Currency Wars, you have to go through a 40-minute tutorial. This could have been shortened down a lot, but I guess it was good to finally see Jade again. Currency Wars is an auto chess inspired game mode. You know Teamfight Tactics? Yeah, basically that. You are able to make teams of up to 10 characters. Each character is assigned a predetermined on or off field role, some of which you can do both. Your front line serves as your main team you have full control over, as well as up to 6 more characters who can attack off field in the back line. Characters in the back attack automatically, which can really be a hit or miss. Sometimes they'll target the wrong enemy with their attacks, sometimes they'll target the ally you don't want, so there is a little bit of RNG in that aspect. In this mode, every character is free, and if you don't own the character, you will get a trial version of them, although the trial builds are absolute dog water. Playing this mode made me forget this was a gacha game for a bit because the character is just handed to you. Some characters are missing from this mode, and I'm sure they'll be added over time, but realistically, I don't know how many people are upset that they can't run their Shui in Currency Wars. After selecting your team, you head in to fight 3 different planes of enemies, each with their own unique boss. Every round, you'll earn coins to boost your experience that can also be used to buy more characters, and speaking of, Hoyoverse genuinely went above and beyond to make many characters work in this mode. Each character in this mode is assigned a damage type, such as follow-up, super break, DOT, all those, but the other buff is the interesting one. This is something I've been wanting for so long, and those are faction bonuses. Now there are team-up buffs in non-gacha games and even in some of the Hoyo titles such as Zenless Zone Zero, but they're finally in this mode as well. And I think it would be really cool to get these in-character kits, to some degree. It doesn't have to be insanely overpowered as seen with Cyrene, just a small thing to help you out in a fight. Some characters even have brand new animations that look cool and have new abilities. I love that. A lot of the kits in this game mode are actually modified here, and I do have a sneaking suspicion these could be used for future buffs. We haven't seen any new character buffs since 3.4, and I think it's right about time to do so. For example, Jiao Cho now has healing in his kit. He was rumored to have healing in his kit prior, but that ultimately never made it in. And given how much he talks about being a healer,
I'm just a healer.
It would be great to have the ability to do so if he were to get buffed. I am perfectly fine with them taking wacky ideas that don't warrant actual character kits and putting them in this mode instead. I don't expect to see playable Hule in the actual game or anything, but if this mode just becomes a playground for funny stuff, then so be it. Throughout the rounds, you will also get different items to buff your characters with. These can be combined with other items to create more powerful ones that boost you up even further. It adds another layer of strategy to the mix, which is overall a really good addition. Now, I don't want to glaze this mode to the moon, it does have a few flaws. The most notable of which being, it is extremely RNG dependent. There are runs I went in wanting to play a certain character, but I was not able to because I didn't get the proper team I needed. The higher up you go, the margin of error gets smaller, and the luckier you need to be. If you don't get the characters you actually need, then it's going to cause massive issues for you. I also wish we had a little bit more control over how our characters are placed. Some characters are locked to only being on or off field, which limits potential team options. For example, I own 2 E6 characters, Jing Liu and Anaxa. However, I cannot take full advantage of them in this mode because they are both locked to being off-fielders. When you have a large variety of characters to choose from in a mode like this, people are going to figure out the best team combos very quickly. One of the strongest characters in this mode is actually one of my personal favorites, Aglaya. Only costing 1 gold, Aglaya is an absolute demon. Getting her sped up as much as possible ends in some insane results. This mode is actually pretty well made for the most part, but I feel like when they were playtesting this mode, they didn't actually exploit certain strategies, and Aglaya is definitely one who feels that way. One of my personal favorite strategies was taking Finon and buffing him up as much as humanly possible. It's a pretty simple strategy, but also very effective. However, it did start to get a little bit repetitive. When there are strategies that are just so broken, it makes me question why I would run anything else, especially when the weaker teams are falling off at higher difficulties. I will also say each round is quite long. It is longer than Divergent Universe, but it cuts the fat out of running between rooms. But maybe it's also because I have a TikTok attention span and can't handle a longer game. I must have played this mode for over 6 hours and I was still not even close to finishing, but maybe that also shows how much replayability this mode has. The higher you go, it does start to feel a little bit monotonous in the sense that the HP gets absurdly high and you kinda just end up sitting there for a long time trying to kill the boss, especially if you don't have all your buffs aligned. I really do hope that more modifications would be added the higher you go to spice it up a bit besides the few that we already have. A common piece of criticism towards Star Rail is that it doesn't really have much to do after you finish the main story, which, to be fair, is true. The event content especially has been quite lacking in 3.x. Because of the lack of content in the game, the characters end up becoming the content. So it was clear that a mode all about characters and more unique and interesting things would resonate with the audience. Currency Wars and Divergent Universe now switch off bi-weekly, which is a change that I'm a fan of. Divergent Universe has largely become a chore you do weekly for your stellar jades and planners. Switching off between the two is a good way to add some diversity. This mode even introduced a brand new item called fuel vouchers. These allow you to farm materials quickly without having to actually play the calyx. Overall, an amazing feature. After playing this mode for a while, I expected the hype to kinda die down over time, but I couldn't be more wrong. The amount of videos and memes made about this mode was kinda crazy. There was even cosplayers in China with wheelchairs of Aglaya, and I honestly found that very funny. It was really great to see the community actually come together and have a very positive outlook on this mode. I do think Honkai Star Rail needed something like this. We've been in kind of a rut with Star Rail recently, with multiple boring patches in a row on top of community backlash over characters and such. I'm really glad that we finally have a mode that brings people together to have fun. I do want to point out that Hoyoverse also has another game coming by the name of Honkai Nexus Anima, and that is also an auto chess game. It's no secret that Hoyoverse has used their games to test upcoming ones before, and these two have a striking resemblance. It's clear that Hoyo has been pushing for an all-in-one experience with their brand, and this game will do the same. You play Genshin for an open-world action-based game with the reaction mechanic. You play Star Rail to play a turn-based combat game and a soy jack at the big numbers. You play Zenless Zone Zero for the funny jiggle physics and the hack-and-slash combat. And if you enjoy auto chess, you're gonna like Nexus Anima. Adding a mode like this is a great way to get people interested in the genre and can potentially result in more players and money for Hoyo. If they continue to develop Nexus Anima with the data they've gathered from Currency Wars, I genuinely think the game could be great. Overall, Currency Wars was not a mode I was really looking forward to at first, but as I got to play it more, I was very impressed by how fun it ended up being. It's not perfect and still needs some work to improve it. However, given how much of a success it's been, I expect them to actually care about this one and to continuously work on it over time. I'd love to know what you all think about this mode, so let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe, and consider joining the Discord down below. If you want to save money on your jades, then check out Loot Bar in the description too. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Texting and crying, but it won't last. Leaving all the pain in the past, toxicity with so much power.